This video is about defect waste. Defect waste occurs any time that the work fails to produce the desired intent, requiring rework or removal of the installed product. So what does defect waste look like at Sunrock? One example is a safety violation or an injury, malformed block, concrete that doesn't meet brake tests, settled trenches, having to rework or recut a pad after a scraper crew builds it. Once you find something after the fact, you've made a defect. More important than what a defect looks like is what causes a defect. So there's a few reasons. Emphasis on quantity of work instead of improving the work. So if a crew gets in a hurry and is more interested in getting the work done and not paying attention to the details of quality work, you can get defects. An unclear process or no process for the work can create a defect. So if you're doing it different every single time, you're probably going to get variation and you're going to get defects. Not understanding the fine details required for quality. So sometimes there's very little margin of error, and if you do something wrong, you'll get a defect. You have to understand what those little nuances are to make sure that the work's done correctly every single time. And that brings me to the last point, not performing the fine details every time. Even though you understand them and you know what you should be doing, you have to do them every time. You hear this term a lot, keeping the rope tight. You got to keep the rope tight every single time. You can't slacken in your effort to do quality work.